Hello, Blue Army, and welcome back to the Blue Army podcast. And tonight we are going to do episode 26. As last week, I did actually put up episode 26 on the thing, which I was by accident. But tonight, I got a special guest over here, the man himself, Entertain House. Hayden, how are you going, mate?
Yeah, going good, mate. Good to be on the podcast. I believe we've done a couple of little collabs over the years, but I think it's been a long time in between drinks. So good to be back here and keen to talk all things Eels from 2025.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. I hope that tonight is going to be a very good podcast, and I'm very keen to get through the season. And yeah, so if you guys are brand new to the podcast itself, please make sure to subscribe and to also like the YouTube video as well, and also support our Instagram page and also our Spotify, our TikTok, and many other platforms as well. And yeah, let's get straight into the 2025 Premier Eels season review. So let's start off with round one over here. I know there are some heavy defeats that we're taking over here. I'm just going to share the screen. So just give me a sec, guys.
Yeah, I was there in round one. I was there down in Melbourne. We had a great atmosphere before the game. We had the drum. We had fans. We had members events, different things. So there was a lot of hype. Obviously, as you said, a heavy defeat that we'll get to in a minute. But the atmosphere
Yeah,
down in Melbourne and the fans that had travelled was really great to see for
yeah.
Parramatta.
Yeah, of course. It was a scoreline that I did not expect us to get smashed by. When I had a feeling that we will cause a massive upset and that we will do that big upset as what we have done back in 2021 when we did the break the streak, break the
Yeah, the 22, the
something.
22 to 10 game we won in
Yeah.
2021. Yeah.
Up at Suncorp Stadium. When Drew Bolo outpaced Joshua Carr, and funnily enough, he's at the club right now, and fortunately with his suspension, he wasn't able to make his debut against the Melbourne Storm, and look, it wasn't the greatest performance from the boys, but at least Isaiah Ilongi score his debut try on his very afternoon on Sunday at Amy Park. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were on TV for this game. We were looking a little bit
Hmm.
flat, but I tell you what, we won the second half. We showed some
Yeah, we
fight there,
did. Yeah.
bit of grit that showed some of a platform for later in the year. But the big thing about this game that was great was we saw some Eels debutants. We saw Riley
Yeah, pretty
Smith. I
much.
think
Yeah.
I think Sam Tuivasa as well made his debut at this
Sam
game.
Tuvati.
So
Yep, of course. Yep.
yeah, it was exciting to see some fresh faces, some fresh blood, even at an away
Hmm.
game with a nice crowd behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And you can see over here that Jake Tungo did actually score a try over here. And we all know that he didn't start for many games for us after this game because, of course, with his defense and that. I mean, he did. I do remember he did actually stop Xavier Coates, I believe. And that was and that was an impressive tries over there from Jake Tungo himself there. But yeah, I do believe that that the debutants were very nervous going out in the first of a game against the Melbourne Storm, and yeah, coming up against the runners up there, it was very nerve wracking, and yeah, we weren't prepared for it, and well, the apprentice looks to fight for another day, but other than that, I don't want to go too much into this. But let's move on to round two, um, which in my opinion, and it pains me to go through this game, but this is our worst ever performance of 2025 in my opinion, because boy oh boy, this was absolutely painful and unforgettable game to remember.
Yeah, for me, this one was really disappointing. We obviously started a new era of Parramatta fans known as the Swarm, and we opened up the Swarm this year in round two against the West Tigers, and there were
Mm,
big expectations there. The Tigers, I think I can't remember what they did in round one, but they looked okay, but nothing amazing. But they
mhm.
just came out to Combank with a point to prove, and
Yeah,
we're a different team in a bad way without Mitchell Moses, but there
yeah.
shouldn't be those excuses, and there was no heart, no effort in this game for mine at all.
Yeah, pretty much. And what made things much more cursed was the brand new Eels mascot coming out for the promotion for the school programs. I believe. I'm not too sure about that. So yeah, and this is the match when Senua Chiruva absolutely just embarrassed us and done the close out celebration that. And this is also when Locke and Galvin also scored against us, where this was the game where we were highly rumored to get him. Of course, he went to the Bulldogs when his manager had some how you going moments in this and that. But yeah, he scored against us. This was a match that we were trying to convince him to come back home, but unfortunately, our attack was absolutely just abysmal, and we couldn't even hold on to the ball.
Yep.
Alrighty, let's move on to round three. Against the Bulldogs. So I was actually at this game. I'm not sure if you know, but I think I saw you marching out with the Swarm as well in the interest as well, and I think you guys made it on Channel 9, I believe.
Yeah, we were on Channel 9 and Channel 7. This was a massive march, which we can't wait to get involved to do next year because we
Yeah,
had
of course. Yeah.
we had former players involved as well. So having some former
Oh,
players
really?
around the march with not just fans and members was something really special that we really relished off the back of that to create a lot of noise, and obviously the media there
Mm,
to help it out. And as for
yeah.
this game, I thought Parramatta definitely turned up and played much better football than the previous week. But we finished 11th, which we'll get to later. But the unfortunate thing is we started the season 0-3, and two of those losses at home. So I think this was from memory the debut of Jordan
Joshua Carr.
Samrani. Oh yeah, and I think it was it Jordan Samrani's first
Yeah.
Parramatta cap? I think it might have been.
Yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, I remember the Sam Rani crowd when he scored a try.
Oh yeah.
They were going nuts over in the corner there. So that was probably one of
Mm,
my highlights for the game. But yeah, it was a contest that we were in. Bulldogs had a quality season, so I guess it
yeah.
was the start of things to come.
Yeah, it pretty much was. And look, this was a winnable match, to be honest, when they had some of the big players out. I believe that by look at the team list over here, I think that Burton and Kickout were out, and this was a big opportunity for us to actually beat the Bulldogs. And it was a little bit of wet conditions, and one of my mum's partners actually told me that he knew that the Bulldogs were going to struggle in this match in the wet weather, and they did. But unfortunately, Jermaine Hopgood he did cost us a couple of chances as well. In our middle defense, it was letting some soft tries as what it did in the last 2 weeks before that. So yeah, that was still an area at the time that we needed to fix throughout the middle of our defense. And this is when I was trying, and this is when I was really questioning who's our defensive coach again? Sam Moa,
Sam
I
Moa,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was really questioning him, saying that, hey, is his defensive style like not the greatest? Like, is it very slow pace from the Super League? And is his defensive coaching style? Is he trying to get used to it? in the NRL? Because I know we all know that he is a former NRL player, but like still, I'm not sure how his defensive coaching record is in the Super League, but I think just give us some time, and I believe by 2026, our middle defense, and of course, that is what we've seen in the last two or three rounds, which we will get later on in the episode. That he has improved a lot. So yeah. But anyways, enough rambling about. Let's get into round 4 against Manly, which, in my opinion, this was another winnable game, and we showed some great signs in this game. But this was the moment where us fans were just calling out that Zach Lomax was not a centre, and that he needs to play on wing, and that he conceded that very telegraphed try against Tom Dvorovich as well. So, what's your thoughts on this game,
Yeah, this
Hayden?
this game's sort of one that is a little bit clouded judgment for mine. I got to see bits and
Right.
pieces of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, on my way to Melbourne, I did lose my pop, who was a Manly fan this year. And I
Oh,
actually had a family get together at the time of this game. The game was on in the background, but I had a family get together, and it felt like
right.
Pop was getting one last laugh over me with the Sea Eagles beating
Yeah.
Parramatta
Well,
there. But
sorry to hear that
you know,
loss, man.
they started the season 0-4,
Mm-hmm.
but this was the game where it really felt like they were starting to improve. Show like they can play some football without Mitchell Moses, starting to get some players back, getting in the groove, and Manly can be a fortress, and it didn't end
Yeah.
up being as bad as a score as some people definitely would have predicted.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, yeah. Look, we all know that Manly is a very hard place to actually go, but I thought that like Manly's forward pack was not like the greatest there, and I did actually feel like that. Oh, and I forgot to mention this was Joe Orfingali's milestone game as well. I forgot to mention, and he was actually our best ever player from memory in this game. So at least he was actually showing some effort from his poor defensive performance in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, look, yeah, it was a very good. It was a very good performance from him. But yeah, look, I thought that our forward pack improved a little bit over here. But look, once again, we were still questioning about Zach Lomax and that. But yeah, let's move on to round 5, where we finally got in our first ever win, and it was from the former St. George Illawarra Dragons player himself there. Uh, also, a New South Wales representative player himself there, Zach Lomax, as he's kicked the field goal there to get us the first ever win without Mitchell Moses.
Yeah, this was a special game, man, for Zach Lomax to kick that field goal. And obviously, he injured his foot after we
Mm,
saw him at the start of the year for a few weeks there. And then he went missing after this game. But I was actually sitting sort of with Dragons fans, with my girlfriend being a
yeah.
Dragons supporter. I wasn't in the Swarm for this game, which was really unfortunate because the Swarm went absolutely crazy. The big thing I want to highlight as well is how much of a difference to our side Dylan Walker made. Dylan Walker made his Eels debut in this game, which was absolutely
Mm,
sensational to see him come on the field and play some good minutes. But
hmm
yeah, this was Parramatta's first win of the season, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the year, beating the Dragons in Golden Point too. It was my second ever
Yeah.
Parramatta Eels Golden
hmm
Point game as well.
And another thing that I want to like highlight is this was the first ever match that we have won without Clint Gubson, and we actually face up against him. And what about that try over there from Isaiah Ilongi when he made up that brave effort there against Clint Gubson, where there was so many doubters out there, especially other Parramatta fans, which I won't mention over here, that were doubting us that that this kid was not going to take us to the next level. And I've been praising Isaiah Iolongi throughout the rest of the preseason that he was going to be the next Joe Hayne, and he proved it. I believe he actually scored as what I can show you over here, and we actually made a comeback there, and yeah, it was a very good day to be a Parramatta fan, and I think this was one of our best ever and most intensive wins in the club's history.
Yeah, big call, but yeah, I think it was a sensational win that started getting the ball rolling, and we just needed to back it up.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyways, we get our first ever win of 2025, and we move on to round 6. Um, Look, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely don't want to talk about this because we all know that Darwin is sorry that we are no longer playing in Darwin because of the contract and that, and thank goodness that we are not playing in the Darwin anymore because I actually thought when Canberra were leading at half time, and if you look at the past two meetings that we've had with Canberra back in 2019 and also our debut match at TO Stadium back in 2014 when Jarryd Hayne scored, I think, twice to get us the win, 20 points to 18, I believe it was. And then we had that fantastic comeback there with Mitchell Moses and that Clint Gutherson combination there. And I do remember Manu scoring a try before halftime there. I think to level things up there by 16 all. And yeah, I thought that this was going to be the same thing that we were going to get a massive and miracle comeback against the Green Machine, but fortunately, Ricky's boys just showed that that wasn't going to happen in this match. So yeah, well, thank goodness that this is finally over. But Hayden, I know that you don't want to talk about this match, but what's your quick thoughts on this match?
Yeah, just quickly from memory, I thought that Bailey Simonson in his return game was very, very solid in this game. I thought he played good as well. I think this
Yeah.
game said more about the Canberra Raiders than it did the Parramatta Eels, who obviously went on for a top four spot. But the
Yeah.
disappointing thing for mine is, even though it was a loss, I really didn't expect to concede 50 in the first, 8 to 10 weeks of the season. That was just that little bit disappointing for mine. And to
Yeah.
come off such a great win the previous week, it did bring us down to earth just a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. And look, I was so thankful, and also us Parramatta fans, that this was the last of a match that we can have at Darwin, and who knows where the NRL is going to let us play. Like, do you have any ideas where we're going to play? Maybe as a neutral venue for 2026.
I've got no idea, but I guess you've got the Perth team coming in, the Perth Bears. So Optus Stadium could be a choice. You've got a few teams going there. I know there's a massive support for the Eels in Queensland, and they definitely don't play at Suncorp Stadium enough. So somewhere in Queensland could be an option too.
Yeah, especially when we played a couple games up there during COVID. Even though in 2021 we got robbed in the semifinals, but we won't mention that. But
I hate
yeah.
that
But
game.
anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to round 7 as we're going now revenge against the West Tigers. I believe that Lachlan Galvin was not playing this match this time. I think he was being dropped, and this was the time when he was apparently being bullied by Jerome Luai and him not liking Benjamin Marshall's coaching style and that. So yeah. What's your quick thoughts on this match?
Yeah, it was Mitchell Moses' first game back as well.
Oh
So
yeah,
we
I
got
should have mentioned
our
that.
captain in his first game and leading the side to a great win. As I said, a lot of the troops starting to come back from injury and pretty much full strength here against the Tigers side that destroyed us, and they thought they were going to destroy us again, but they were proven wrong. But yeah, obviously a bit of
Yeah.
drama in the Tigers camp in this week. Just a quick shout out as well. We had a fantastic Talking Para event pre-game. Lots of people turned up, and then we
The charity. Yeah.
and then we marched from the event to the stadium, and there was a nice turnout there as well. So, yeah, it was a great day. This one, Easter Monday, I
It
believe.
was.
Was it? Yeah, Easter Monday.
Yeah, it was on the Easter Monday here, and this is when our attack was absolutely just electrifying there. Of course, with Mitch and Moses, it was basically the Mitch and Moses show there. I believe in the in his game, he had about like 2 try assists. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't have the stats in front of me, sorry, but I just remember him having a big game.
He had. Let's see how many try assists. Yeah. Oh no, he had a hat trick of a try assist, and he made 2 line breaks. He made 2 line break assists there, and yeah, it was an amazing match from the boys. Of course, with Moses in there, and well, funny enough, Dylan Brown played his greatest game. I believe he did. Um, I'm not too sure because without Mitch and Moses, we all seen when Dylan Brown when he made a disappointing signing there to go to Newcastle just for the money in that. We were all pissed off at him, just turning his back on his childhood club there, and yeah, he just shown that he had to play good or otherwise well, maybe he could be released early, but we all know that that wasn't going to happen because I think the press conference in this match or in the next coming matches, I think Jason Rolls did actually stay out that he was going to play for us for the rest of the season. So yeah, that wasn't going to matter at all. But yeah, let's move on to round 9 as we did get the buy from there. We move on to Magic Round over here. As we had a pretty good match over here, and although uh, the, the there is this one controversial call that the referee did actually gone against us. It was the Ronaldo Militalo and Babe Simonson situation. Like I I don't know why the referee blew a penalty when I believe it was Militalo in the air trying to catch the ball and all that Thompson can do is just try and stop him because he's right on his body there. And what is he meant to do? Like, is he meant to stand there like a bloody statue and just let him score? Like, what's your thoughts on this situation, Hayden?
Yeah, this game made me pretty angry. I thought this was a game that we should have won, which obviously would have been crucial
Yeah.
towards our race towards the 8. I think
Hmm.
Braden Trindle maybe should have been Simbin from memory as well. There was a couple of
Yeah,
different calls.
yeah,
There was the Bailey Simonson one towards the end of the game, but early on there was some. I can't remember the exact moment, but I remember that Braden Trindle. I was yelling, "How are they not in the bin?" I was very glad I wasn't
yeah.
at Magic Round because I know just how vocal I would have been with the referees.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of bad calls going against us, and this should have been the match that we should have scored. I believe that Dylan Brown, I think him and Isaiah Ilongi was in open space, and I believe that was the moment when Isaiah Ilongi dropped the ball in open space. I could be wrong, but I think if we would have scored that and also uh, some other opportunities in that, we could have potentially made us sorry, we could have potentially gone into Golden Point into Magic Round. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, let's move on to round 10. All right, we versus the Dolphins here for the first ever time. The Dolphins versus against us at Combank Stadium, and once again, this is similar to the Sharks game. This is another game that I was absolutely just pissed off that that's that Joshua Carr in the last minute he had a chance to win the game for us, and unfortunately it was a hammer who saved the day there for the Dolphins there, and it was very annoying to lose this game against the Dolphins um, who just had like a couple of line breaks there when we just conceded some soft breaks there from Herbie Farmer from that. And yeah, once again, some of our defensive work needed some work over there. But I thought that our attack was improving still. Of course, I think, yeah. What's your thoughts on this game, Hayden?
Yeah, I remember this game well. This is one of it got away from us this year for me. I thought, as you mentioned, Josh Adokar could have won. Look, credit to the Dolphins. Their defense was good enough to turn us away, but this could have been anyone's game. And I thought that Parramatta, for
Mm,
at least 70% of the game, were actually the better side, but, didn't win it on the day, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I thought a really solid performance at Combank against the Dolphins, just not
mm,
enough. And you win that Sharks game, you win that Dolphins game, and there you go. You're potentially playing finals football. So, a few what if scenarios that you don't want to sit on and dwell on. But this for me, this Dolphins game was one that was like, how holy shit, how did we lose that?
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was and another win that just gone away from us, and this was possibly what one of the games that could have put in us in a good position to actually make to get to the top eight. But unfortunately, it's not to be. It's a very annoying loss. But oh well, let's move on to the next round. Oops. Yeah, we got Newcastle over here. A very dominant win. Although I thought that we could have played a little bit better since the scoreline doesn't really it doesn't really reflect the performance that we have done over here. But I believe this was the first of a time that we have seen the Momax combination there when Mitchell Moses. I believe this was his best of a defensive game yet. I believe in his career. So yeah, it was a Moses show once again. Zach Lomax absolutely amazing. I think this was his first of a time playing on the wing. Was it?
I'm not sure. I remember that it was the first game between Mitchell Moses and Zach Lomax since Origin for that
Oh
combination.
yeah,
Calling it.
it was. Yeah,
Um, I do remember, I forget who it was, but one of our forwards scored a fantastic try, and I think it was his first NRL try. So there was a forward that I remember just breaking through that Knights defence, and it was just an impressive try as well. I think they came off the bench from memory, but I forget the name right now of the player who scored in this game. But that's my sort of core memory. Just this.
was it
Who
Dylan
was it?
Walker?
No, it wasn't Dylan Walker.
Oh wait, you can't see the screen. Oh shit. I forgot that I didn't put up the screen.
Who,
Yeah,
who's
Hayden.
who's in the back row?
In the back row. Oh, was this Kotoga or Luca
Actually, just
Moretti?
go to the like the top and just see who the tries were scored by. It wasn't
Oh
Jack
yeah.
Williams? Who was it? It was
It was Jordan
Jordan
Samrani.
Samrani.
I
He
believe.
was playing in the
Yeah,
back row. That's right. It was Jordan
yeah.
Samrani that was straight through. But honestly, we shouldn't have let Newcastle score at the end of this game. It absolutely should have been a kept to nil performance, which we don't see much from Parramatta. But yeah, a really, really nice win in the middle of the season as well when games are getting crucial.
Yeah, I do want to apologize, guys. I thought that I had the screen up for Hayden to look at because I thought that Hayden was also looking at the screen, but I just noticed right now that I forgot to click on it, so apologies for that, Hayden, and apologies for that,
No, you're a good
ladies and
man. Let's
gentlemen.
get
So
let's
yeah,
get into let's get into the next round. It is a lot easier now to see that. So thank you, appreciate it.
all right, all good. All right, let's get into round 12 here. This was the match without Mitchell Moses, I believe, and that we actually won. And this was Josh Papali's debut. And man, oh man, how good was Dylan Walker and Dean Hawkins? Footy Dean uh, saving the day for us. Again, there's fantastic combination there between Dylan Walker there and trying to pass it out there to Joyce probably there. Even though his defense was not the greatest there on a debut, he was absolutely just amazing on his first grade game.
Yeah, Joe Ash brought a lot of energy. I remember taking my nan down to this game for this one, and I think Joe Ash brought a massive amount of energy for a player to debut and was getting involved. You mentioned Footy Dean. Dean Hawkins was fantastic.
Yeah,
I think he had like 4 tries. It was either 3 or 4. He played some absolutely phenomenal football, and Manly were
yeah, he
missing a
did.
couple of names, but we were
Yeah.
missing Mitchell Moses, who we really struggle without, and we not only
Mm.
beat our rivals, the Sea Eagles, we put 20 against them. So this, for me, was a really impressive win for 2025. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah, and we also got in the win against Jake Arthur there, and everybody expected Manly to have a big performance there since they had Tom Todorovic. I believe he was returning from an injury from this match, so yeah, they expect him to have a big match, but we shut him down quite easily, and yeah, well, what a win. I mean, our home record, anyways, is pretty good against Manly at home. So, yeah, a great win. Let's move on to the next round. Alrighty. So we move on to round 13. Our rivals, the Parramatta Panthers, the Four Peters. I know that you can't stand Penrith, Hayden. So, what was your thoughts on this game since we just gone a little short? Because I thought that we were pretty good in the first half when Sean Russell he loves to score those first tries there along with Josh O'Carr, and I just think that this was a match that we could have won, or maybe just taken it to go on points as what we nearly did. I think last year, also at Combank. So yeah,
I think for this game, there's not too much to say here besides, damn. But I feel like we played really good football for 65 minutes, but the last 15 minutes, we just didn't play like a football team. It was pretty
yeah,
poor in that last 15 minutes there. I still remember this was the day of the Talking Para bowling event. And then from the bowling event, we also did a march. Basically, Combank is for blue and gold, time to send the Panthers home. This is our house. This is
yeah, yeah,
all those sort of intimidating chants, but it wasn't enough. The Panthers were sitting in, 14th, 15th position, and we were in 16th or 17th at this time.
hmm
So, you know what? 18-10 is a pretty good damn result against this,
yeah,
4-time championship team.
yeah.
But just a little bit unfortunate that we just couldn't match with them in that final 15 minutes, which I think would have gone a long way to securing a win.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, there's nothing really too much to say about this match, but we're going to pick up the pace a little bit here since I don't want to hold you out for too long because I know that you're busy in that. So yeah, let's get into round 14 over here against the Bulldogs. This was another match that I went to. Um, it's a little bit of a forgettable match since this was the first of a time that Locke and Galvin um, I believe he debuted for the Bulldogs, and unfortunately he came off the bench, and yeah, he scored against us, and right in front of my eyes, I was absolutely just devastated.
Yeah, I remember Adam from Talking Para. Shout out Adam if you're watching. he told everyone to put Matt Burton on first try scorer, and he didn't put it on himself. And I ended up winning about $200 from Matt Burton first try in this game. But you know what? I did expect a win here. I thought we played really good against Penrith, and we have a decent record against the Dog, especially recently. So I did think we were going to get the 2 points here, but unfortunately, as you said, Lachlan Galvin, man, came on that Bulldogs debut late and absolutely scored a try, which just started like the momentum was already there with Canterbury.
Yeah, and I do think that Zach Lomax, especially on the wing, I think this was his worst ever performance. I think it was playing the wing, right? Or I think it
I think he
was
was on the wing for this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was. But yeah, this was his not the greatest game yet. And uh, well, what about that what the fuck era from Riley Smith when Matt Burton he caught that I think it was off from the scrum, and I believe that Matt Burton caught the intercept there, which I don't know how the heck he was offside there. Sorry, no, he was not offside there, and that he just went through and scored a try there, which yeah, I just reckon, in my opinion, that he was offside. So, do you reckon he was offside, or do you reckon it was a fair call?
Too long pass for me to get into that. I did want to add here while you've got that on the screen because it's making a good point. Is that I'll scroll down a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So in this game, you had Jack Williams in the front row. You had probably Jermaine Hopgood at lock. So, you know, what we saw from the back half of the season was a completely different team to this team that was annihilated in this round. So this is where
Yeah,
Jason Riles started to go, you know what, they're playing better, but there needs to be some changes. So completely different team, and a lot of players played out of position this year, which I'm proud of.
yeah, and look, this was the match that we were very concerned about, saying that we're sick and tired of how Jermaine Hopgood is just doing way too much, and us Parramatta fans, we all knew that Locke was not his perfect position, and that we would rather him just being dropped or just being dropped to reserve grade. I know that sounds a little bit harsh right now, but when you look back onto it, and especially at the moment, seeing his performance in this game, you can understand why we wanted him to be dropped in that, since he just couldn't carry he just couldn't hold the ball in that. So yeah, but anyways, let's move on to the next round. So we're going to bye in round 15, round 16. This was another good win against the Titans. It was a high scoring match. A little bit disappointing to concede a couple of soft tries against the Titans. Nothing too much to talk about here. If I'm going to be honest, from memory, I don't want to hold you up too much. So just give me your thoughts here, Hayden.
Yeah, I missed the first try, which I'm pretty sure the Titans scored first in this game, but we were
Yeah, they
able
did. Yeah.
to get the lead back at half time. So I was actually at Supernova, like Comic Con Expo in Sydney, and I put up a poll, and I'm like,
Mm,
I'm really sorry. How do you feel about this? I won't be at this game. I missed the march. I missed things like that, but I ended up
mm.
getting to the game. I can't remember if I missed both the first tries. I feel like I might have got there at the Joey Lussick try from memory. I think I got there 15 minutes in and I stuck around to the end and everyone was very excited. And, you know, Dean Hawkins, man, playing really good football in this point in the season as well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And this was also a very good moment to see Charlie Geimer score the try there. I believe coming off from the bench, I believe he came off. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
yeah.
And I think it was a late change. I think.
Was this the game? No, that wasn't the game. There was the game as well where he was naming Jermaine Hopgood at 9. I think it was earlier in the year as well. There was a bit of mind games there. I don't think it was this game. Oh, it could
Okay.
have been.
Right.
Oh no, that's Joey
Yeah.
Lustig. This one, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was mind games and that, but yeah, it's still very good to see Chai the government for finally get that for finally getting that impact there, since he wasn't really himself there when he made his debut at Lock, since yeah, I really thought that well, for him to actually make like a bigger impact there, I thought maybe he should bulk up just a little bit just to get some more strength into himself, since he had to slim down to maybe get some fitness into himself. Which look, that's a fair understanding that, but like yeah, it's good to see him finally get that impact in that. And let's move on to the next match. Alrighty. Oh, round 17. This was
Ouch.
a little bit
Yeah.
controversial, this match, with the Josh Carr foot being in or out. And this was the match that really made me hate Valentine Holmes for life. I know that you're a Queenslander in that, and I know that you don't really hate Valentine Holmes that much, but like for me, like my hate for Holmes, and especially for New South Walesman, just went up just another level when he won when he scored the winning try for them.
Yeah,
So
it was a frustrating one because we were in the contest there at the end. But let's not forget, 1 minute into the game, Nathan Lawson, Nathan Lawson scored the first two tries. He was actually a very late inclusion. I think he was wearing
yeah, it
jersey
was,
number
yeah,
20 something. He was a very late inclusion to this side. There you go, jersey 22 for a late out there, and the Dragons at home. And it was, you know what, this was the first Dragons home game against the Eels in 6 years. They wanted this. It has not happened since 2018. So they had this game
mm,
ready to go at
yep,
home, show the Eels, who have a great record against them, who's boss, and get a bit of revenge as well. And obviously, Mitchell Moses missing with that injury once again. We
yep,
got a couple of games there after the Tigers, but Dean
yep,
Hawkins doing a solid job, but Dylan Brown not doing enough at this point in the season at all.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, but let's move on to the next match. Um, round 19. Not our best footy against the Parent Panthers here. Look, it was kind of similar to how we versed them for the first time, but most of the time, we just looked at very vulnerable at times in that, and yeah,
Was this
wasn't really
12-10 at
comfortable with that.
halftime?
Huh?
Was this 12-10 at halftime?
12-10 at half time. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah, so this was embarrassing for mine because this is sort of like the game we saw the other night between the Sharks and the Raiders, right? Where Parramatta started good early, which is what the Raiders did, and then the Sharks just came out of nowhere to lead at halftime and put the foot on the pedal. And that's what happened here. We
yeah.
literally only played 30 minutes worth of football in this game. This is probably one of my most disappointing for the year. I was
Hmm.
actually in a corporate box for the match. But overall, we should have led this game at halftime, even if we go on to lose. But there was absolutely no effort. And this is probably one of my least favourite performances from Parramatta in 2025, especially looking at being down two, not scoring a point in the second half, and then conceding 20 at home is ridiculous.
Yeah. Look, I didn't really get to watch much of this game, so I can't really have too much to say about this. But yeah, look, another disappointing result there against the Parent Panthers, which we usually defeat him twice. I know that we lost him twice the year before, but yeah, we live to fight another day. Alrighty. Round 20. Once again, similar to the match before that. A very good first half, but the second half was just mostly just the Canberra Rays just dominating against us, and it was very annoying that this Canberra hoodoo. Even though we did break the hoodoo in 2021, and we also went on to win another match in GIO Stadium when Simonson was playing up against his former club there. Unfortunately, in the first half, it looked like that we were going to cause a massive upset. But look, in the second half, just the momentum in absolute class from the Canberra young talented side there. Just absolutely just put on a field day there, and our defense was just absolutely just terrible, just conceding soft tries left, right, and center there. And Josh Papali at 5'8", he couldn't really get that job done to really execute those big moments there to really keep us at the same gear as what Canberra were trying to do. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
from memory, if you look at the team list, I could be wrong here, but I think Dylan Brown was dropped for this game.
yeah, he was,
So we
yeah,
had, yeah, there you go. So Dean Hawkins and Josh Papali'i, really interesting combination. And as you said there, it was a really fast start from the Eel to cause one of the bigger upsets of the year. But mate, it looked like a completely different team in the second half, and not for good reasons either. I can't
yeah.
remember the score at halftime, but I believe that we were on track to win it. I believe
It
it
was
was, yeah,
16
there you
to
go, it was
12.
16-12. So you've conceded 20 in the previous week and 28. Like I tell you what, we're going to get to it soon. Where we finished in 11th, to
Yeah,
concede 48 points in 2 second halves is absolutely atrocious. But the finishing position is what matters in the end. But I really like it was tough because it was a great start. It probably wasn't the worst loss of the year in my opinion.
yeah.
But it was a tough pill to swallow how quickly we were just conceding tries left, right, and centre within, 2 minute, 5 minute periods. And Owen Paddy scoring a double as well was crazy.
Yeah, it was. And look, I really wanted to get our revenge against Rikic doing that, since yeah, I was very hungry for our boys to get the big upset down in Canberra, but yeah, I was still very pissed off that we still conceded 40 points and we lost in the second half like that. But anyways, we will get into when our young boys started to rise up. But how far are we right now? So we're in round 20. And this is one of the games where they actually show some signs that we started to rise up when we got in this big upset win against the Brisbane Broncos. And I believe the Talking Parramatta podcast and I think the rest of the other Parramatta podcasts were at the Paralease Club celebrating this big win, as well as seen from other Parramatta members in the family chat, whatever it's called. And yeah, it was a great night to celebrate there at Paraleagues there. And yeah, we all thought that Reece Walsh has won the game for them. But when he looked up and that it was a forward pass, or was he offside? No, he was offside. And then it was ruled as no try. And after that, we all knew that Reece Walsh was going to have a cry in the sheds after when the Brisbane Broncos fans were doing do and this and that, and instead we done it, and it was our night. So yeah, we'll have that up your Broncos fans. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think from memory, Joash Papali'i was playing at fullback, and I can't remember if Mitchell Moses was playing, but I feel like he might have been playing for this game. I could be wrong
he
though. No, I
was.
think yeah, he was. There you go. So our captain Joash Papali'i moving from 5'8" to fullback as well. A
Yeah, he was
fantastic
regularly.
win.
Yeah.
And this win's going to feel even better if the Broncos do go on to win the NRL Grand Final, beating
Mm.
the premiers of that year. This will be memorable, but it was scary. I mean, it was very scary and a call that definitely could have gone either way from the referees there, but they looked at it and made the right decision in the end. It was nerve wracking, but a very exciting win, and it's not just one of the best of the year. This is one of the best in a long time. It was a very overcome adversity win when you're down but not out, and it was great to win this one at Suncorp. I wish I was there to experience it for sure.
Yeah, me too. I mean, look, we have lost entire games against the Brisbane Broncos in a couple of years and that, and yeah, it's good to finally get a win against them when we lost to them away heavily, I believe, last year. And yeah, a very good win. And man, Josh probably on his kick return was looking like Jared Hayne himself there. So yeah, Hayden.
Oh yeah, bro. I basically gave a review on this game.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. All right, let's move on. Sorry about that.
No, all good, bro.
That was awkward. Anyways, let's move on to Para versus Melbourne here. This was a very good. This was a very good performance that we should have won this match. And Melbourne were not at the best over here. From memory, and we just scruffed our opportunities there to really equalize it all up there by 16 all. And yeah, look, um, I don't have that much thoughts about this game since I was doing kickboxing on this night, and I was only able to watch the second half and a little bits and pieces while eating my dinner and that. So, what's your thoughts on this game, Hayden?
Yeah, I remember this game because there are a couple of members within the swarm that helped me out, and we didn't have our drum or our megaphone for this game. So I literally had to use my voice to create chants around the stadium, bring people into it. I think the crowd figure was quite small. I think it might
Yeah,
have been about 12,000. I think it was a Thursday night
mm,
as well.
yeah,
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good performance against Melbourne. I know that we were starting to go on the rise a little bit, but I still think that the Melbourne Storm were up there with the benchmark of the competition. But as you said, they were off, and this was the game where I started to write them off, which I don't think that's the case anymore. But again, it's a game that we definitely could have won, and they had some really good players in their side.
yeah. They really did. Of course, I think believe it was Elisa Katoa was very good. That great try assist there, I believe from Karen, I think from Harry Grant, which he always loves to score against Parramatta, as what he did in that 2023 season opener when he won it in Golden Point. And yeah, but once again, um, we weren't able to show him down as what we wanted to. But if we were, then there could be a possibility that we could have won this game as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I want to very quickly add as well. I forgot this game. Now that I see it, was actually the game that I had the multi for charity for Talking Para, and I
oh
went
yeah,
with Ellie Katoa to score a try into Josh Adokar, and I think I won about $400 or $500 for charity. So the crazy thing is I picked
oh
them
that's
to
awesome.
score it any time, but they were actually the first two try scorers of the match. So. Pretty crazy to drag that one for charity in round 22.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, but anyways, we're nearly there. What's on the next match? We got the Cowboys. Where surprisingly, this was a close match where it should have been for 30 plus, but of course the Cowboys trainer was trying to let him stay in this match, and I just want to say, Jerome Nanai was an absolute dog in his game, where he's gone away with two controversial tries where it should not been where it should have not been allowed for Jackson Purdue to score a double there, which I do believe that Burns' try was a little bit questionable there. But looking on the replay, I will allow it. But man, oh man, those two tries that Nano was involved in, those should have not been allowed. And luckily enough, karma came for him because I believe this is when he obstructed Mitchell Moses, and that's when that call won us the game. So yeah, what's your quick thoughts on this, Hayden?
Yeah, so for this game, I actually still need to rewatch it. I've only watched the first 20 minutes, and the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes. So
Mm.
for this game, I was down in Melbourne and I was on holidays and I watched the Melbourne Demons versus Western Bulldogs, my Western Bulldog, with a
Oh yeah.
mate. And I was trying to watch this game on my phone. Now, let me tell you that when the Cowboys scored a try that was taken away at the very end of this game, I thought for an hour while I was at the AFL that the Cowboys had won. My friends told me that the Cowboys had won. It was only about an hour later that they told me, we want to change your mood before you see it. And bang, I was told the truth. So I spent an hour thinking that the Cowboys had won this game 22-19 in the final minute.
Wow. Well, um, well, it sucks to be them because we actually won it. And Mitch Moses, uh, of course, had a very good long range field. Oh, wait, I don't think it was a long range field goal.
I
I
think
think
it was
he,
about 25 meters out, but I could be wrong.
yeah, yeah, he scored it from that range to get us the win there. So we were a little bit lucky from that field goal to actually win us the match. Or otherwise, the referees, whoever refereed this match, I believe it was
I do remember Talon De Silva getting a spray for
Liam
throwing
Kenny.
the ball on the ground, and Mitchell
Yeah,
Moses giving Talon a spray. I do remember that though.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Liam Kenny. He was trying to get the Cowboys in this game over here. And when we won this match, all I was seeing is just a bunch of Cowboys fans saying, "Oh, well, you robbed us once again on how you did in 2022 preliminary final." And I've got to say this, like, the North Queensland Cowboys. I know this is not Parramatta related in that, but like the North Queensland Cowboys, at the moment, man, they're in some bad turmoil at the moment with their coach at the moment because if you look at Newcastle, they have appointed recently Justin Holbrook, and the fact that the Cowboys have not even appointed a new coach yet, and that they're still keeping this style of play that they have. Like, don't get me wrong, they do have some. They do have some young talented players coming up, and that they still have Tamalo and all these experienced guys in there, which is great and all. But like, I do feel like that some parts of the team is still aging, and that if Todd Payton if he doesn't fix it like from next season, then I reckon he needs to get a sack.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
well said.
Cool. Yeah. All right. All right. South's game.
Oh, far out.
Fuck this, man. I don't want to talk about this too much. So, where do I even start? Fuck me.
I'll start for you. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go in a quick review. All right. Mitchell Moses, I love you. You've done some great things for this club, but this game was not it. And you were
Yeah.
playing the blame game with other players as well. Now,
Yeah.
South Sydney played some great football, but holy dooly, they were missing some players. And we did not turn up to want to win this game. Never looked like we were in it. And it wasn't even the referee's fault, these calls. It was just that we were outclassed by a South Sydney team. And again, we were leading this game and let the Rabbitohs back into it. And the Rabbitohs easily could have run away with a win here. And we chanced our hand at the end. And unlike the Dolphins game, where Josh Adokar goes down the sideline and we could have scored to win. Yeah, we could have done that as well against the Rabbitohs. And I feel like if we did have 2 minutes left on the clock, we probably win. But we put ourselves in a position. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
This is Parramatta's worst performance of the decade. And if you disagree with me, I'd like to hear in the comments which game you think, because this game here, the lineup that we had versus this South Sydney lineup, I know they get up for the Indigenous game and that sort of
Mm.
thing, but the
Yeah. Yeah.
players they were missing and the form that we were in going into this game was extremely disappointing. I was so angry walking out of this one.
Yeah. When you mentioned that this is the worst performance, I think having flashbacks of it, I think I do have to kind of agree, And I do have to debate if I lost against Tigers in round 2 was way worse than this, because yeah, this was an absolute pathetic performance here. Just a quick note. I know that some people are going to say, well, maybe the experiment with Isaiah Ilongi could actually have some time, maybe in 2026. But in my opinion, it's a complete waste of time, and I think that Justin Rolls should never ever put Isaiah Ilongi a 5'8" ever again, because
I don't.
I thought
I
that
don't.
if he was going to play a fullback, then I reckon he could have isolated moments there, or those passes there to Joshua Carr, where he could have won the game for us there, which he loves to score in digits rounds, and yeah, he could have
I,
won us the game there.
I could be wrong here, but I thought there was an error with the NRL website, and I actually did think that Joe Ash was playing at 6 because he was doing the kicking, and Iongi was
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
the runs from the back. I'm not sure, 100%. I do actually have the number 1 jersey that Joe Ash is wearing for this game. I own the jersey from this game, which is pretty cool for me,
oh,
owning
nice.
that match worn jersey, but. Yeah, I thought Iongi was definitely taking the carries and Joe Ash doing the kicking. And look, I was a
Yeah,
little bit disappointed with Joe Ash's kicking, but people were calling him to be dropped. And man, he's a young kid.
yeah,
Obviously, we now know that he played with a broken wrist, and I gave him a chance to develop. And look what he's turned
yeah,
into now.
yeah. And I do believe, speaking about Young, I also forgot to quickly just mention about Talon da Silva, I believe against the Cowboys. I think that was the moment when Mitch Moses gave him the big spray, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, I was saying that before. So I remember that Talon De Silva threw the ball on the ground on fifth tackle,
Oh, yeah.
and Mitchell Moses gave him a spray in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I did see that, but I didn't get to see too much else of the game. So again, when I'm at the gym, I try and catch up on games I do miss, and that's one that I've got to watch.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, right. All good. All right, let's move on to the next match. Since those two indigenous rounds are officially done, we're going how many rounds? Oh, here we go. Okay, so guys, this is the moment where our boys absolutely just turned into beast mode, and out of nowhere, where everybody and especially me, that I thought that we were going to be in the competition, and that with the Roosters having a very good roster there, I, I thought that we were just going to lose, but out of nowhere, we possibly played our best ever performance in a very, very, very long time, and this was a statement that our boys has made, that they have made Combank Stadium a fortress once again on how they did it in 2019, 2020, and also 2021, and also 2022. So yeah,
Yeah, this for me was the best game of 2025 for the Parramatta Eels season. It was just such a solid team performance. It was
100%.
Dylan Walker's milestone game. He puts in a kick.
Oh,
He's
that's right.
control.
Wow.
He's just controlling the game as well.
Yeah.
You've got Mitchell Moses stepping up in those big moments and delivering as well. And as you said at
Mm.
Combank, I'm extremely disappointed in myself that I didn't get down to this game. It was my first game without my auntie, who, yeah, I know I've said it a couple times in this video, but unfortunately, I lost my auntie as well this year, and she was a
Yeah.
Roosters supporter. So
Mm.
this for me, it hit a little bit close to kickoff. It was really starting to hit, and then Parramatta put in a performance that just turned my mood around, made me feel really good. The Swarm was very loud. I could hear everyone on TV doing their job as well, and yeah, I
Yeah.
thought there were some captain's challenges in this game, some great executed tries, and Parramatta just hung in there, even though the commentators were just like, the Roosters will find a way back into this. But it was just the opposite. Just such a good performance. I absolutely loved it. I don't think I'll ever forget this game.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it was one of the best ever wins in 2025. Also, in my opinion, but we do also still have to hold that for the last ever match. But before we go into that, we do have our win against the Waz. away. Another match where some people thought that we were maybe going to lose it, but of course, this was the moment that we were trying to trying to actually ruin big teams' finals chances, and this was the moment I believe that we ruined the Warriors' top four chances, and it kind of and Parramatta at this time it kind of reminded me, and I don't know if you watched the Premier League from last season, but it kind of reminded me when Fulham were causing some big upsets to separate the big top four teams in the table in the race for the title and against Liverpool and Arsenal and Man City and Chelsea and that. So yeah, that's what Parramatta would kind of remind me of, like just spoiling some top eight teams in that. And I feel like if you were a top eight team at this time, or if you were trying to get into the top four, trying to verse the Premier Eels, and that it kind of feel like that you had this fear where once you underestimate them, that's when you're going to choke, and that's when your top four chances there was just fade away, and we all seen that that they could have this top four chance here when they lost it against the Panthers, but nope. Paramo came in and they spoiled the party.
Yeah, I think with this win, it was a really solid win, but I still look back at it and I'm not sure if it was the players or the coaching, but there were some very silly decisions made in this game. I still remember, I think it was 14 points to 4. And then we actually decided to go for the penalty goal rather than going for the try. And that for me was really, really, yeah, there it is there. 14-4, Zach Lomax, under that Dallin Watene-Zelezniak.
Yeah.
Just after half time, I really thought we should have applied more pressure there because, as you can
Mhm.
see, after that, we let the Warriors back into this contest. We scored through Ayongi, and then what happened next? You'll see it. The New Zealand Warriors came storming home. There it is, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and then
Yeah.
they hit back again there. So, yeah, I got really scared for this game, but obviously in the end, we were able to hold our ground. But I think it's still one where they would have said, look, we've got to get this right next year. We can't be doing this again because look, the score there 20-10, but if you scroll up a bit more, you'll see there 14-20, and then eventually the Warriors score
The
again to
rookie
pretty much
himself.
equalize it. It was
Yeah.
absolutely, it was pretty scary actually.
Yeah, it was very scary, and of course, you got that little controversial moments where Warriors fans are still whinging till this day. Where was it this moment where Isaiah Ilongi was challenging the high ball with Leka Hanasima? I believe it was.
I can't remember it. I don't know why. Not that long ago, but there you go. Let go with the try. It's just, yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember the controversial moment, but I just remember here being absolutely terrified. Like at that moment there with 10 minutes to go, I was scared that we were going to blow this game.
Yeah. But luckily enough, we managed to hold it off there, and yeah, we avoided the scare there from the Warriors, which in the first half they looked like it was already game over, shut the gates and that, but no, they came back and they really wanted that top four spot, but luckily enough, they came short, and yeah, that was a top four chances there spoiled, and they are out of the finals from this match versus the Four Peak Panthers there. And we go into our last ever match of the season. We are finally here. And this is also Dillbag's last ever game. And funny enough, he plays against his future club there, the money hungry Bags there against the Newcastle Knights. And funny enough, who would have thought that he was going to be the first ever try scorer against the Newcastle Knights there?
Yeah, I thought Will Penasini was a massive chance because it was his milestone game as well.
Yeah,
But look, I think this is fantastic that Parramatta won by 56 points. I think there were better victories overall from the season, even if we had grittier results or that sort of thing. But everyone just wanted to join the tie the try tally. It was Talon De Silva, it was Junior Paulo, everyone just wanting to not do a nudie run. And obviously
Yeah.
a couple of tries there were a little
Paulo,
bit
yeah.
disappointing, leaked by Newcastle, but we absolutely handed them the wooden spoon with pride in
Mm-hmm.
2025. And we went out in style and obviously
Yeah.
finished in 11th position, which is a great result. And it was pretty cool that this was the final game of the regular season as well. We sort of saved the best for last.
Yeah, and it was very happy to see Adam from the Talking Para podcast there to absolutely just give it there to one of your to the guy that works for you guys. What's his name again? Who supports Newcastle?
Jeremy, our producer, he does a great
Oh
job.
yeah, he absolutely gave it to Jeremy there, but I'm pretty sure that he couldn't really give a fuck because I think Parramatta on the day actually converted him to be a Parramatta fan there. So yeah, but yeah, look, we'll be seeing his milestone game there. It wasn't really the greatest. In my opinion, as you can see over here, he was very lucky to get that penalty try there
Yeah, very lucky.
when Tyson Frizzell. Um, I believe he was trying to strip the ball off from there, and it was counted as a penalty try there. And yeah, it was a very good day for our boys to get off the nudie run. It was unfortunately though. Luca Moretti, who was injured out for the rest of the season for the little Italian stallion there. Unfortunately, he couldn't play this game to maybe get a chance to get off the nudie to get off the nudie run there. But yeah, well, it is what it is, and yeah, a fantastic game from our boys. And like, what about that try celebration there from Mitchell Moses there when he done the hang plane and that? How awesome
Oh,
was that?
that was unbelievable. Mitchell Moses in this first half, for the whole game, but in the first half, he scored a double or a hat trick, and obviously one of them was
Yeah,
the Hain plane as well, celebration. The
yeah,
way he burnt players on the side as well is such a, this is my stadium thing. It's like the Katoni Stags, this is our house. Mitchell Moses was on
yeah.
fire in this first half.
Yeah, and it kind of reminded me on how he opened up the try there for the first ever try. I should say a bank west, or if you want to call it con banking that. When he scored that first ever try there, in the match, in this match when he scored a similar try when he was running a long range try, scoring on the corner there. I know that he didn't do the raw in that, but like it kind of feel like the same vibe, and in that same moment, where he done that iconic try celebration there in that moment in the club's history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's it for the games. We're gonna go quickly and review every single player before we get out of here. So yeah. Um, so in your opinion, I know that Jack Williams won uh the award. What's the award called again? The
Ken
Foreman.
Thornett medal. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, in your opinion, can you please give me your give me your best give me your best and worst performed player of 2025, and who do you think we should see on the look up there for 2026, and who do you think one of the permanent players that need to improve in 2026?
Yeah, well, I think for the player of the year for mine, I'm going to go with Josh Adokar. I thought his early runs all season and his try scoring form to go from a team like the Storm to the Bulldogs to the Eels in sort of a last resort and earn himself a new contract and be in the top 10 try scorers of all time now. I thought it was a sensational season from him, whether it was home or away. He was all effort on the field. I think there were a lot of great players in our team, but for me, it was Josh Adokar. As for the player that needs to improve, I mean, I think he showed it in the back half of the year. I think you could arguably say in the 2025 season that it was Jermaine Hopgood. There were
Yeah,
4 games in a row there where he was making errors, but I think he's improved a lot in the front row. So
Me
I
too.
don't
Yeah.
think there's too much you could say there negative about him. And I know people used to say, "Look, it's easy. It's
Yeah, I
Sean
agree.
Russell," but Sean Russell had a great year, so I
Yeah.
can't give him. He was probably my sort of surprise packet at how good he was, and obviously Bailey Simonson probably overlooked now um, for Sean Russell. As for my breakout player of the year next year, I feel like probably Joash Papali'i. I mean, he's playing great football while he's been with the Eels, and he's been forced, like Blaise Taulagi, to play in a couple of positions as well. But
Mm.
the loyalty's there. He's ready to do it. He broke his wrist playing football and just continued to play football. So, yeah, for me, in that order, I'd say Player of the Year, Josh Adokar. Surprise packet was Sean Russell. Uh, Underperforming player was Jermaine Hopgood, but obviously once he found his form, played a lot better football, and player to watch would be Joash Papali'i.
Yeah. Look, I totally understand those options there, and yeah, those are some very good picks there. Now, for me, my best ever performed player, I gotta say, it's gonna be Isaiah Longy, man. Like this man is gonna be the next Jarrah Hayne, and look, he did have a chance for Clint Gutherson to stay at the club before we let him go to the Dragons, and that he could have teached Isaiah Ilongi a couple of like skills or communication. That's what Clint Gutherson did for us in the last couple of years. But of course, he still has that those skills and that experience there, kind of mentoring from Dylan Edwards quite a bit. And we've seen that he has the passing game there, his footwork and his speed over there, and yeah, he was absolutely just incredible, Isaiah Longi, and I won't be surprised if he actually does come close to winning Rookie of the Year in the Daily M Awards in 2025. But it's gonna be a close one. But yeah, look, worst ever performed player of 2025. I do. Oh, yeah, I do feel like that Jermaine Hopgood. I know that. Look, I know that Jermaine Hopgood was coming back from a long-term injury there from the year before, and I know that he wasn't the player on how he was when he debuted for us in 2023. But I feel like him playing at front row and especially coming off the bench there, I think that's his new home positions there available. So. Yeah, I feel like that Jason Rolls has revived Jermaine Hopgood's career a little bit, and yeah, um, I'm just hoping that he'll be able to be that 2023 Jermaine Hopgood as what we used to think of, and yeah, and a player that I do believe that needs to improve in 2026. Let me think. Um, Um, man, I feel like that. Man, shit. I do feel like this is going to be very critical, and this is going to be a little bit controversial. But I'm going to say Zach Lomax with his goal kicking ability. Right now, I know that Zach Lomax. Um, he's been very good, but in my opinion, he's been like rocks and diamonds in that, especially in the air, trying to get that Mo Max factor in consistently. And I don't get me wrong, his kick chases are very good in that when trying to chase for the high balls in that. But look, they don't always work out in that, and he's kind of like your Mark Witawase type of player a little bit. Um, but I feel like when he played Origin, I feel like the emotion and the energy just sucked the life out of him, and I just don't think that he was the same from there, and I feel like. just from there, his goal kicking abilities just weren't the greatest on how they were. Just the season before that. So yeah, I feel like that the club needs to hire maybe a new goal kicking coach for Zach Lomax in that. And I feel like for those aerial tapbacks in that, I feel like that him and Moses need to work on that for quite a bit. And if Moses is going to be captain, I feel like that Mitchell Moses. I'm pretty sure when he was very good with his goal kicking because I knew that he had a couple of stinkers in the past in front of the goalpost. That he actually uses golf technique thing when he was doing this, trying to see where the wind was uh, directing from. And I feel like that Mitchell Moses needs to teach Zach Lomax something like that. So I know that I'm not an expert goal kicker coaching that, but that's what I feel like that Zach Lomax needs to improve in 2026. Now, the breakup player that I do believe that is going to explode in February 6, I'm going to make a big call. I know that this kid is very young, and we have recently just re-signed him. I believe, and this is going to be a very big bold. This is going to be a big bold call, and this is a player that we do need a 5'8", and that is Lorenzo Talenta is going to have a breakout year in 2026. You hear it here first. I believe that Lorenzo Talenta is going to break the scenes in 2026, and that he will him and Billy Hawkins will be a great halves combination in 2026. I know that there are some other talented halves in the New South Wales Cup team, like Josh Ling. I believe he plays halfback. He looked pretty good in the trials and that against Newcastle. And yeah, I hope we can see Talenta debut for us next year because that's the type of pace and skills that we need at 5'8", as what Dylan Brown. He just couldn't care because his mind was on the money, and it's still very disappointing to see him go to Newcastle for over a freaking decade. Like, I still couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for our season review for the Premier Eels there. Thank you so much, Ed Stainhouse, for joining me for episode 26. I do want to apologize if my analysis in that was not the greatest in that, but this is a very long episode, and this is my first ever time collaborating on a podcast in a very long time. Even though I used to do this in my former huge channel, I'm pretty sure you know. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it there for episode 26. If you guys did enjoy, please give it a like and also subscribe to the channel as well. And make sure to follow us on all platforms, on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and also on the YouTube channel itself. And next week, I will be trying to get a female guest on for the 2025 NRW Premier season. So yeah, but anyways, guys, blue and gold never falls, and go Para,
go Para,
go Para. 2026 is our year.